Okay, so we're going to dig right in here and start in on our first object, the button object. This is one of the more useful objects. You'll find that you use it almost all the time to navigate between pages, connect to a variety of different content within your projects, and so forth. So let's go ahead and go to View, Workspace Layout, Speedy. Okay, I'm not going to keep reminding on it every lesson, but just for this one I was going to remind so that we know that we're all in the same place to start off with. I've got a project here that's 400 by 300 pixels, so I've set that up in the project window settings area here. I've gone width 400, height 300. You can go any size you want. I'm just doing this so that it fits on the screen. Ordinarily I'd actually work at a higher resolution, but for the purposes of video tutorials we have to keep them to 800 by 600. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on the button object here in the icon in the toolbar, and we're going to select this browse for file icon at the end there, and we're going to select one of these buttons here. So we'll take a blue rounded, and then we're going to press OK. Now over the course of the next few lessons here, we're going to take a look at the button object, how to build our own buttons, the properties, actions, and a few examples. But in this first video here, I just wanted to touch on the button object and speak about it for a minute. So the button object itself is a very special type of object because it's actually a multi-state object, so it's interactive by its very nature. In other words, if we press F5 to preview our project right now, we'll get a fully working button here with several states to it. So for example, when our mouse is put over top of it, you'll see it lights up, and when we press, it actually goes down. The shadow gets smaller, the light turns off so it gets a little darker, etc. So we have a fully interactive object here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and exit this demo application, and as I said, in the next lesson we'll actually take a look at how we can build our own button objects. But for now I just wanted to touch on that fact and speak about a couple examples of what you might use an object for, or a button object for. In this case, we've got it a little too big for the page, so we would probably size it down. I'll just do that real quick here. And there we go. And actually I'll size the text down while I'm at it. We'll take a look in depth on how to do this in the coming tutorials, and I'm just going to quickly duplicate it here and show a quick example of how one might quickly apply a button object to a project like that. So there's an example. You would use a button object typically to navigate between pages, as well as to activate things like, for example, an email client, or a file download from the web, or a media file such as a video or an audio file, etc. So those are some of the typical examples. Obviously you all have your own ideas of what you'll use the button object for, so we'll go ahead and just jump right in now, and we'll go into the next tutorial where we're actually going to use this button maker tool, which is built into AutoPlay Media Studio. So if you go to Tools, Button Maker, you'll see it here, and we're actually going to go ahead and build our own button from scratch using Adobe Photoshop and the built-in button maker tool.